it's just not really timeless to me. So I feel like that trend is going out. In all honesty, it was just a very basic sans serif font, but I just feel like it was the overuse of that and the over labeling, and it just ended up being too much. Once again, just feels kind of a little cheap to me. I just don't think. Hey y'all, it's Lauren here, and welcome back to the Makers Gonna Learn YouTube channel. Now, in today's video, we kind of have a little bit of a touchy subject to talk about, and that is design styles that we are predicting are going to be left in 2025. Now, I know that there are going to be people out there that are going to maybe disagree with some of these predictions that we have, and you know what? That's okay. And in all honesty, some of these trends, you've probably seen us create products that look just like it here on the channel. But these styles are what we are predicting are going to be left in 2025. Now, I do want to preface this video by saying trends are just that. They're trends, and you can decide if you want to follow them or if you don't. If anything on this list that I'm talking about really touches you and it's something that you absolutely adore, guess what? That's probably just part of your personal style, and that is perfectly fine for you to keep doing that trend. However, I'm just making a prediction. These are just things that I'm seeing that may not be something you want to incorporate into the designs you are creating, especially if you're trying to sell your products. Now, this is, once again, just a prediction. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the list that I'm predicting is going to be out for 2025. First up on the list. Now, this is something that I have seen a lot of, and I'm going to kind of start out with something that I feel like maybe there's not going to be a lot of pushback on, and that is going to be those Stony Clover letters, like those little Chanel patches. Now, they were super cute, and they are still cute. However, I do feel like the overuse of them has kind of created this people don't really like it as much anymore because it was just seen everywhere. And if you want my honest opinion, I feel like that is what makes a design trend go out. The overuse of it is what truly makes it seem like it's not as cool anymore, I guess. But that is my first prediction. And let me show you what I mean by the Stony Clover patches. So here is an example of what I mean by the Stony Clover patches. You can see it's just the Chanel patches, but here's the thing. These patches you put on like bags, sweatshirts, t-shirts, things like that. And I think in some instances it can be cute, but this to me, you're just labeling a bag with big patches. I don't know. It's just not really timeless to me. So I feel like that trend is going out. Once again, I feel like there are certain aspects where you can use these patches and it still be really cute, but having them everywhere and labeled on everything, just not the move. Which leads me into my next design trend that I feel like is out, and one that I know so many people loved at the time, and that is Dunn. I don't know if we've talked about it here on the channel before, but I truly think that that is a thing of the past. Once again, it was a fad. It created this sense of it was exclusive because you could only find these products, certain products, at different stores. So it was like a treasure hunt. But in all honesty, it was just a very basic sans serif font that labeled everything exactly what it was. You would have a mug that said mug, or you had a canister that labeled flour, salt. I mean, it's just, there was so much of it. And I'm going to sit here and tell you that, yes, I loved the treasure hunt. I did look for Dunn. I did have some Dunn. But I do think that it is something that is out. And once again, if it is used properly, for example, the canisters that say flour, sugar, that to me made sense at the time. But I just feel like it was the overuse of that and the over labeling, and it just ended up being too much, which made this design trend, it's gone. It's gone in 2026. We're leaving that design trend. Actually, I'm pretty sure we left that design trend in about 2021 or 2022, but I digress. Next up on the list, in my opinion, is going to be the geometric animal designs. Once again, you all have every right to come for me if you want to. We even have some of these files on the Makers Gonna Learn website. But I feel like at one point people were really overusing those geometric animals for things. And I just don't feel like it's one that we need to continue doing. Here is a really good example. I've taken a screenshot to show you guys. This is what I mean by the geometric animals that I feel like are out in any designs we create, especially if you are creating wall art. That just does not scream luxurious. It does not scream curated to me. And it doesn't even have to be luxurious. Let me rephrase that. You want your space and your designs to feel curated. And this to me just seems generic. So in my opinion, the geometric shapes, I'll just say shapes in general, like that art with geometric shapes, especially the geometric animals, gone. Now, this next one that I'm going to talk to you guys about, I'm actually going to come in here because I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to prove to you all that we have products that we have created and we have projects in here that still have some of these designs on them. But here's the thing. Once again, it comes down to the fact that this was just so overdone, oversaturated, that I feel like we saw it everywhere all at once. And it became almost overwhelming, which is why I feel like it's on the way out in 2026. And this is one that kind of hurts my heart just a little bit. But hear me out. Once again, I feel like it can be done in a very tasteful way. It all comes down to the overuse and oversaturation of this trend or this design, I guess, aspect. And y'all, it's checkerboard. I know. It's one of my favorites. I love it. I do. And this one is a more tasteful example of how you can do it. But once again, it was just, it took off so fast and it became so big that I feel like it was just seen everywhere and everybody is starting to get a little bit tired of it. Once again, I think that it can be done in a very tasteful way, and I feel like it can be part of your products that you create, part of your DIYs, part of your interior design, but it just has to be in the right spot, in the right place. And this was one that when it was added to our list, like I said, it hurt my heart a little bit, guys. But I have to tend to agree. There was an overuse of it, and I do think that it's the overuse of it. We'll say that. We'll say that trend, the overuse of the checkerboard trend is out. The tasteful use of it, I still think we can get down with. This next design trend prediction that I think is on its way out, it left in 2025, no longer really super sought after in 2026, is going to be the single line minimalistic line art. Now, I really want to show you what I mean by this. So here is a good example of this minimalistic single line art. I just feel like, once again, in certain aspects on certain projects, this could still be right, but using this single line minimalistic line art as art in your house, once again, just feels kind of a little cheap to me. I just don't think that this is it. I think this design style, in my personal opinion, is out. I can appreciate the artistry in this because can I go in there and create single line minimalistic line art like that while never picking up my pen? Absolutely not. So I commend those who can do that and who that is your artistic style. Pop off, stay with that. I love it. I just don't feel like the overuse of that as art in your home is where it's at. I think that design trend is out. I think that even for DIY projects, I'm just going to say it's out. Now, these next 2 design trends that I'm going to talk to you guys about are, once again, 2 design trends that kind of, a little bit, I'm like, I don't know. Because my room is still this style. I know. Not completely. I think if it's done tastefully, it can be really, really good. So, hear me out. Don't come for my neck just yet and just listen to what I'm saying, okay? So, the first one that I'm saying is out that I think is on its way out is the boho style. Now, before you get mad and you comment, please, let me just say there is a specific kind of sub-niche. I'm not just saying boho style in general. Y'all, I am to my core probably, I guess you could consider my style somewhat boho. I don't think boho will ever be out completely. But there was a way that people were doing the boho style at one point that very much was just, it is on its way out. And let me show you what I mean by this. So this style right here, once again, it has those geometric shapes. Do you all see that? And it's very light color, so it's more on the neutral side of things. It uses those geometric shapes. I do still feel like in some aspects, though, it's like that mauvey pink, that orangey color, the neutrals, that color scheme can still be done in the right way. But when you take that color scheme and you put it with like these plants and these geometric shapes, it was just so overdone that specific boho style, I think, is on its way out. Now, what you can do, because once again, boho style in general will never be out. And it will definitely, even this style right here, will make its way back at some point. Trust, it will. But I think if you are wanting to stay kind of like more true to yourself, you can still do the boho style. You just don't want to it doesn't need to seem commercial. That's what happened with this specific style, is it became very commercialized. And when something feels very commercialized, that means that everyone has it. And you want to have a style that feels more curated versus commercial. That is the key. All of these trends that I'm talking about became commercial trends. But what you really want to look for and what you want to, I guess, create your personal style around is a more curated aspect. Find what makes your heart sing. So like I said, this specific boho style was just very commercialized. I think it's out. If you still want to do the boho trend, stay true to yourself. Figure out what color palette really sings to you. For me personally, I do think my style leans a little bit more on the boho side. I'm more of a darker boho. Like, I like my tchotchkes. I like my trinkets. I like feeling like I've curated my space and you're coming into a very curated antique store. So that's still going to be considered boho, but you have to find your personal unique style and then curate everything more so around that and not as commercialized. That's the key. With that being said, that kind of leads me into my next trend that is out for the new year for 2026. We're kind of leaving it in 2025. It goes along with that boho theme. And y'all, it is the overuse of succulents. And you can see we have some here in the office. And that's not just that's for when you are designing. I used to see a lot of art that just had succulent plants on the art. Obviously, succulents as a whole are not out. They're beautiful plants, especially if you are a plant person. We're not saying succulents in general are out. I'm saying decorating and that being your whole personality is succulents. That's when you take it just a tad too far. Once again, the whole theme of this is I feel like everything can be done tastefully, and we don't want to make one specific thing our whole design aspect. And there for a time, there were a lot of people that it was just, if it had a succulent on it, they had to have it. And again, I'm not yucking someone's yum. Please don't hear what I'm not saying. If succulents are your thing, pop off, queen. I love it. If that is your personality, then go with it. But when somebody likes it just because they see it everywhere, I think that means we're the trend, it's out. So the overuse of succulents, to me, in my opinion, it's done, it's over. We can still have it as part of our design aspect. I actually took this one from right here. We had it sitting back here just to add a little something you can see there. Like I said, I still think that it can be done right. We just no longer want all of our designs to be focused on succulents like it was at one point. And like I said, once again, you're going to go on the Makers Gonna Learn website and you're going to find stuff that has succulents all over it. But we do create files and stuff that people like at the time, and it's just there on the website. But I do think in 2026, the overuse of succulents. Now, if you found yourself here at this video and you're like, but Lauren, how do I know how to spot trends? Like, how can I learn how to do that? I have a great course that we just came out with, and if you are interested in becoming part of the Makers Gonna Learn family, you want to learn how to become a visual design pro, you want to learn how to design better, you want to learn how to spot those trends, I definitely think you need to click that first link down below and check us out. Because if you get signed up with MGL Plus today, you are going to get access to everything on our website, every single course we have created. If you have thought about learning how to do different DIY skills, or you want to learn how to design better, we have a digital design course teaching you how to design on Canva, but our newest course is our Visual Design Pro, where we teach you how to spot some of these trends. We teach you how to be a good visual designer. That is the key that I feel like a lot of people are missing, is just knowing how to be a good visual designer, how to be able to see where something looks good, how to balance your designs. All of these things play into being a good designer. So if you're curious and you want to learn more about how to become a better designer, click that first link down below and get signed up for MGL Plus today. I promise you're not going to regret it. Now, back to our list of design trends that are out for this year. Next up on the list is, once again, I'm speaking to myself. Raise your hand if you've done this one. Me. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But I do think that it is on the out because it was, once again, it was commercialized a lot. And that is the retro bubble letters, the wavy fonts, like this. Can you see that? And this. I just think that design style is out. And once again, guys, I taught you all how to do it. I know for a fact. And I did all kinds of projects that looked like that. So, yeah, this one hurts too. But we have to be honest with ourselves if we are going to talk about the trends, and even the ones that we may still like. If we see a decline, if we see that it's on the way out, we're going to report it to you guys too. And this is one that I do think is going out. I no longer think, once again, it became very commercialized. I do still think in the right instances, it is cute. I think it's great for kids like this. If I were to do it, I think having this for a kid's shirt that says Big Sister on it, I still think that is very childlike. I do still think that it can be cute, like I said, because this is a child's shirt. I do think it is very childlike. But once again, I just feel like the overuse and the commercialization of that has made that kind of trend. It's on the downward slope. It's going out. So we're calling that one as out for 2026. I know, guys, I'm so sorry. Now, the next one that I have on my list is, once again, I can tell you right now, let's just pull it up on the Makers Gonna Learn website. Okay, so after further inspection, I can't find this on the Makers Gonna Learn website, actually. I thought that we had one on here, but I can't find it. But I did find one on Etsy that I want to show you. So the next design trend that I feel like is going to be out for 2026 is going to be the retro gradient sunset effect. I just think that it has had its run for the time being. I'm not saying that it's not going to come back. Once again, trends are going to do that. They're going to come, they're going to go, they're going to come back later. We all want to feel something new, something exciting, something fresh. And this just doesn't feel fresh right now. It probably will feel fresh later, but that's the retro gradient sunset effect. And let me show you what I mean by that. So here is a good example of that retro gradient sunset design that I feel like is going to be out for 2026. Once again, I just feel like it was overdone there for a little bit. And I feel like it is on its way out in 2026. Now, last but not least, what I'm going to predict is out in 2026 is going to be really any type of branded art. Now, I say that, and here we have some MGL art in the background, but once again, you can do branded art a little bit more tasteful. What I'm talking about when I say branded art is I have in the past, as you see it at Hobby Lobby, you see it at TJ Maxx, you see it at other places. I truly feel like art that has a big Chanel logo or a big Prada logo, and that's it. I just feel like it, in a sense, somewhat cheapens your look. So I'm just going to say that is out for 2026. We want something, we can still have branded art to an extent, but doing it a lot more tasteful than just slapping a logo on a piece of art and calling it good. So that is my list of design trends that we are leaving in 2025. Now, I know that this has been probably a hard watch for some people. And honestly, it was hard for me to come up with a list because some of these things I still kind of like. But if we're going to be honest with ourselves, we have to look at what's going, look at what is selling, look at what is no longer selling. And these are the things that I just think are going to be out this year. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree? Let me know what you think is out. Let me know what on the list you would keep. I love to hear your opinions because I like to have open discussions with you all. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I was wrong or if you think I was right. Drop us a comment. If you've not already, like this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel, hit that bell notification so that you can be notified every time we get crafty or bring you trend updates. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Like I said, drop me a comment. Let me know. Tell me if I was right or wrong. I love to hear your opinion. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.